Hey, it's Sunday fun day. Not really, but for other people it might be Sunday fun day. For me, it's Sunday fuck day. Means I'm gonna be in line for 7 hours and then I have to go to work for 4 hours. Woo! Actually, I think my shift's 6 hours. 4 to 9, 5 hours. Sorry, I'll be at work for 5 hours. 7 hours in line, 5 hours at work. Yay me. So last Sunday when I made that other video about teen mom and breastfeeding and all that, and I said that the line was taking forever and I was going to be late. Well, I was late. I was late for my meeting and I was late for my work shift in general. Like an hour and a half basically. Because it took me 7.5 hours to cross and I was like, OMG. Crazy. So I guess Sundays are just like screwed up now. I don't know, maybe because the kids start school, so there's more people here. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure. So I decided to make sure I left extra early today. I still had issues leaving on time, but I was able to leave by 9. I got in line by 9:20. It's now 12:30. So I've been in line for 9, 10, 11, 12 for 3 hours, a little over 3 hours, and I've moved like maybe 200 feet ish. If anybody knows how the Otay crossing line is for the general lane, there's a bridge you have to go over. I started at the end, at the bottom of the bridge, and now I'm at the top of the bridge, barely slanting on my way down it for 3 hours. So that's super exciting. Not really. Hoping I will make it on time though, because I don't have to be at work till 4:30. So I still have 4 hours. Hopefully we're okay. I'm so bored though, as always. I've already like checked Facebook for a million times. I've played my little Matchington Mansion. Have you guys played that game? Matchington Mansion. I love that game. It is super addicting, but when your lives go away, like it kind of sucks because you're like, ugh. Or when you just are like one more swipe and you would have gotten it. You know what I mean? So frustrating. But that's what makes it fun. If it was too easy, then you wouldn't want to play it, right? I get kind of irritated when I get like a good streak going on and it's kind of too easy and I'm like, all right, give me something challenging. But then when it's super challenging and it takes you like 3 days to pass a level, then you get all irritated. Yeah, that's what I am. So anyways, so I wanted to start talking about living in Mexico. I just thought I would address the stereotypical danger of Mexico. Everybody thinks that you're gonna die here, or the cartels are gonna kidnap you, or the police are corrupted and they're gonna steal all your money, or whatever. You know, everybody says and talks about all this horrible stuff. So, I mean, some of it is true, definitely. Things happen. I feel like the same type of things happen in the United States. I mean, you hear about corrupted judges and paid off cops and, you know, bad cops, murders, mass shootings, kidnappings. I mean, I see every day on Facebook there's a new kid missing. I mean, it's so sad. And, you know, actually I haven't heard of any kidnappings here lately, but, you know, people do get killed and it's unfortunate. But in the 5.5 years I've been here, I've never seen anything or experienced anything. I've always been safe in what I do. I'm not involved in any of that lifestyle as far as the cartel or drugs or anything like that. And I think as long as you're not involved in that and you don't have friends or family that are involved in that, you're okay. I think having friends and family that are involved can kind of open that door for something, because, you know, if they do something wrong, you know, they might come after your family or something, you know. So just be aware, you know, be aware of who you're hanging out with and, you know, what your family members are doing. And if you need to completely break ties from them and you're here in Mexico, you know, do that, because it's, you know, for your own benefit. Definitely live in a secure place. I mean, I'd say 90% of the houses here in Mexico are surrounded by gates. Most of them are steel gates, at least like 7-8 feet tall. Everybody uses like the deadlocks, like the bolt locks, deadlocks, I don't know, the big locks that like you need a key for, or a combination. I haven't seen too many of the combination, but you need like a key to open. So people secure their houses pretty good here, because break-ins are also really popular as well. A lot of people will break in. It's part of the poverty, you know, the stealing, breaking into your car. They have these things, I think they use the jumper cables or something, that breaks your window in like less than 10 seconds, and then they literally just jack whatever's on your seat right here and run. Like, they've had videos of people jacking stuff out of people's cars like in less than 15 seconds. It's ridiculous. So never leave anything in your car. Oh, I also feel like I should share a story that my boss told me. So he had some friends that came here for vacation, and they went to the casino and used the valet. Now, you could tell that they were from the United States. Their vehicle was registered in California, and it was quite apparent that they were just tourists here visiting. So while they were inside the casino and their vehicle was, you know, with the valet, after they were done, they got their car, they whatever, and then when they went to go cross in line, they were arrested for possession of drugs. Apparently, while the car was in valet's possession, they stuffed it with drugs and then didn't say anything. She didn't know, and had sent her across the border. Now she's sitting in jail looking at serving 10 years for something she had no idea was happening. The other thing is they will use magnets or just stuff packages on the bottom of your car in the middle of the night, if they have access to it. And they'll watch and see like who crosses on a daily basis, if you're American, you know, stuff like that. I check the bottom of my car every single morning. Right now I'm not able to like lock it up, so people do have access to it. And I check the bottom of my car every morning before I leave to cross the border, because you never know, and you don't want to go down for something that, you know, you have nothing to do with, and the border doesn't believe you. You know, they're not gonna, you know how many people did know and say, oh, I didn't know, like, you know, and I don't blame them at all. You know, they're just trying to catch the bad guy, and right now you look like the bad guy. You know, hopefully the investigators and everything can figure out what really happened, and, you know, you're not an innocent person sitting in jail, but for, you know, there's things you can do to prevent that from happening, and so you should do them. So just maybe, I mean, I know a lot of people do know that, especially because I live near the border, but for those of you who don't live near the border, who don't come to Mexico very often, or maybe want to come but are scared, you know, just keep that in mind. Always keep an eye on your car, and always keep it locked. Don't leave anything valuable in your car, and check it before you cross the border. Yeah. So, moving on. Corruption. Police are corrupted. Yes, they are. The new president that was elected this year in 2019 is supposed to be helping that, and I've heard a few things that could be happening to help that, as far as police having badge numbers, and then if you're asked for money or whatever in return to be let go, you have to report their badge number, and then they will get in trouble. I haven't seen any of that happen. I haven't had to pay a cop recently. My husband has. He gets all kinds of trouble because he's a Mexican citizen, so they give him a lot of crap. But yeah, so I mean, basically, I used to get pulled over a lot for my window tint. You cannot have window tint here. It is very illegal. And my husband loves a window tint. He doesn't feel comfortable if our cars don't have it. So All of our cars had it. I ended up taking mine off my Toyota, because I was tired of getting pulled over. I mean, it was like a weekly thing, and I have to give them $20 every time, you know? I mean, that's just so expensive. I'm not trying to pay $20, you know, twice a week because I'm getting pulled over all the time. I just took it off. But yeah, and I mean, if you really think about it, if you were to break a law in California or in any state in the United States, and they give you a ticket, and then you have to either pay the ticket through the mail or show up to court to pay a ticket, it's the same thing. It's just you're paying it right now, and the money's gonna go to the cop and not whatever our ticket money goes to. Who knows what it goes to? You know, government's salary or whatever, cop salary, whatever they use it for. But yeah, so that's that about the police. A lot of them are assholes. Some of them are cool. Just depends. I feel like that's the same thing in the United States. Sometimes you'll meet a real cool cop, and sometimes you meet an asshole cop, and it just kind of depends on your luck of the draw for that day. So yeah. I talked a little bit about the line and waiting in line, that there's Sentry, regular, and Ready Lane. I feel like, did I talk about Sentry? I feel like I did. I don't know. If I didn't, I'll look back and see. We'll save that for another video. So we'll just move on. So I do want to talk about coming in to Tijuana, or to Mexico in general. It's the same everywhere. So when you come into Mexico, they don't check you like they do when you go in. It's funny because in San Isidro, they put in some new booths recently that are from the United States side CBP, and they make it look like they're going to be checking you before you go into Mexico. I think to make sure that you're not bringing in money, guns, or you're illegal trying to get back to the States before you're caught. I have only seen them out there a handful of times. Most of the time they're unoccupied and you just drive right through. And then once you get to like actual Mexico part, there's like all these booths in lanes, and you just pick a lane, whatever. And when a car goes through, and then after they get through, you go. And then when you go, there's a little pole and there's a light, and it's either gonna turn green or it's gonna turn red. If it turns green, good, you go. You're good most of the time. If it turns red, you're gonna have to pull over and go into inspection. I say most of the time for the green, because sometimes when you're rolling through, if they see your registration is out of date, or if you have a whole bunch of stuff in your car, they're going to pull you over and they're going to see what you have in your car. They tax you for bringing stuff in to Mexico. It's called an importation tax. It's like 16% of the value. So it just kind of depends what it is. If it's like one thing or a small amount, it's just big, they really won't bother you. They'll just want to see what it is. But if you have like a large amount of something, or like furniture, chances are you're going to get taxed. It's really not that much. I've brought in a lot of furniture. That's actually one of the things my husband does, is I'll bring a lot of stuff from states that I get for either really cheap or free. And then my husband will sell it here, you know, for some money. I mean, we sell it cheap still, but I mean, we're getting it for free and only having to pay the taxes to bring it in. So, you know, it does make good money. Not good money, but like it's helpful. It's extra money that we can use, you know, to help us pay bills and survive. So it works out. But like I'd say for a mattress, they'd probably charge you like 100 pesos, which is like $5. You know, I brought in like a truckload of stuff once, and I think I had like 2 beds in there. I had some doors. I had like a chest, just some miscellaneous stuff. And they charged me like $30. It was like 600 pesos or something like that. So, I mean, that's pretty good. You know, it's not outrageous. They do not let you bring in tires. You're allowed to have 1 extra tire as your spare, but you cannot bring in tires. So, if they catch you with tires, they're going to turn you back, or they're going to take them away. You can't have them. Been there, done that. Also, yeah, I think that's it. They charge you if you have stuff. Oh, if you're bringing a whole bunch of clothes, that's such a big one. People bring clothes all the time. They sell them at the swap meets. I've done it. I've brought in truckloads of clothes. They will either not let you or they charge you a crap load. I had to pay $300 for expedition full of clothes. I mean full, like packed to the top. Trunk, back seat, everything. I had like over 33 of those 30-gallon garbage bags full of clothes. So it was a lot. And I had to pay $300 to bring them in. So it was quite a bit. But yeah, a lot of times they won't even let you bring it. They'll just send you back. The clothes that you bring need to be yours or whoever's in your vehicle. So if you have like a whole bunch of baby clothes and you don't have a baby with you, they're not going to let you bring them in. I just tell them I'm pregnant and they'll let me go. They'll let you bring it in. So tip for you if you want to bring in baby clothes. Or baby stuff like a swing or a bouncer or whatever. I've done that a few times. I'll just tell them I'm pregnant and that's why I have the baby stuff. I know, I'm so smart. Not really. So, yeah. So that's just a little bit about Mexico, corruption, cartels, the danger, and coming in. And next time I will talk about prices of food, rent, just prices here in general, and the minimum wage, and just kind of how the houses are built here. Okay, so I'm trying to make my videos a little bit shorter. I start getting bored watching them, so why would I expect other people to watch them? Working on it. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, you guys. Talk to you later. Have a good day.